Tony Dungy's been on fire with Twitter. Who knew that Tony even knew how to use Twitter? But here's Tony, who said, please, NFL, do us a favor and don't let coaches challenge any more pass interference calls. You're causing teams to lose timeouts, making your officiating department look inept, making us fans feel stupid, like we don't know the meaning of clear, obvious, and significant. Tony Dungy joins us on the program. Tony, did you hear from anybody with the NFL after that tweet?
I haven't, but I heard from a lot. I think that tweet got 30,000 likes. I think the rest of the country feels the same way. Dan, when we went in August, we always go in and we get our briefing from the league, and they talked about how they were going to implement this review system. And I had some concerns then, but it really has been bad because it puts the coaches in a bad situation because basically they don't want to overturn anything. And to me, they should have just been up front and said, you know what, we're going to have this mechanism. Coaches, you can't do anything. If we get to the playoffs and we see another just horrendous call, we'll change it. But until then, don't worry about things. But they had the coaches feeling like, okay, if there's an egregious pass interference that was wrong or one that was missed, we'll change it. But starting in week 3, they have not changed anything. And it's put the coaches in a really bad situation.
But, Tony, can you rescind this rule now? Can you say we're going to get rid of it?
I think they should. That would be the best thing. I don't think they will. They'll kind of ride it out till the end of the year. But now, with all of these calls that they have let go and they haven't changed, there were 2 in the Giants game Monday night, Giants-Dallas game, and I can sympathize with Pat Shurmur. He's sitting there. There's a clear pass interference that isn't called. He's going to have first and goal at about the 6-yard line in a crucial point in the game. He knows they don't want to review it or reverse it, but he's got 50,000 fans seeing the Jumbotron, seeing this, and they're screaming. And so what do? Do you just say, well, hey, I'm not going to challenge? He challenges, loses his timeout, and it's just terrible. But if he doesn't challenge it, then the fans are going to be all over him. And they put the coaches in a no-win situation. I think they put Al Riveron in a no-win situation because I don't believe it's him. I mean, he knows what pass interference is. He knows these obvious calls. I think someone has said, we don't want anything changed until it gets to the playoffs.
Yeah, but I don't understand that, Tony. It just makes the NFL look bad. It makes these officials look bad. I would rather get rid of replay entirely because
Exactly.
I feel I don't know who's up to something here or why they don't want the officials to be embarrassed or whatever it is. But when we see it and then they don't change it, then they look bad. So it makes the product look bad. So what is the agenda here?
Yeah, this looks absolutely worse than even the Rams-Saints game because, when I was coaching, and I learned it from Chuck Noll, hey, officials are human. We make bad calls as coaches that we wish we could take back. Players drop passes. Players jump off sides. Mistakes happen. Officials are going to miss calls. It's part of the game. But now when you have a system in place and say, okay, yeah, they missed it, now we're going to look at it. But you know what? We're not going to correct it. We're going to act like it didn't happen. That's doubly worse. I mean, that makes everybody look bad, and to me, that's what's happening right now.
He's Tony Dungy, the Hall of Famer, a former NFL head coach and, of course, member of NBC Football Night in America, joining us Continental Tire Coach's Corner. We were talking to Peter King in the first hour about a couple things with Cam Newton. At age 30, not able to be the Superman Cam Newton, more of a pocket passer maybe, but if you're Carolina, have you seen enough with Kyle Allen? Have you seen enough with Cam Newton that you move on from this situation?
Well, I think a lot of this is going to come down to money. To me, Cam Newton healthy, and maybe that's not until next year, but Cam Newton healthy still gives you a way better chance to win than with Allen.
Okay.
But if you're talking about Cam Newton at $30 million and Allen at $1 million, that's a different thing. And now you've got to decide how you're going to put this thing together. I think we do kind of get going on guys, and this guy's going to be tremendous, and he's great. And, the Patriots defense is the best we've ever seen. And, we have to slow down sometime and just let things play out. And we'll see. We'll see. But, the Panthers can make a run now, and it's unfortunate that Cam's not going to be there, but they're going to have to evaluate at the end of the year.
Do you think in our lifetime we see a football team that is primarily based in London?
Probably not in my lifetime. There's still some things that have to get situated. It would be tough. You'd be at a competitive disadvantage. I know it's going to bring some more money into the tills and maybe expand the brand, but even going East Coast to West Coast is tough. And now you put your home base another 4 time zones away, and you have to solve all that. I think there's some problems that we don't anticipate.
Well, if let's say the Chargers did go there, you can put them in the AFC East, right? You could take one of those teams out of the East, and then that way at least you're playing games that are going to be a little easier for, at least a good portion of your schedule will be in a friendlier time zone.
You could, but then, how are they playing? Are they coming to the state every other week? Are they coming on 4-game road trips and then 4 games at home? How are they going to do that? How are you going to manage their travel? What comes up when they do play the AFC West, for instance, and they've got 2 West Coast road trips, and then they've got the NFC, or they go to Denver. Those are, really, really long trips. Yeah. And are they going to play on Monday night? Or they're only going to play Sunday afternoons. There's a lot of things you have to think about.
The black cat running on the football field on Monday night. What's the most bizarre thing that you ever witnessed on a football field?
We've had some streakers and some, the kissing bandit lady that was.
Oh, Morgana?
In the 70s. Yeah, she was in the 70s and 80s, and we saw her a couple times. I'm trying to think what else we had. Not too much. It seems like the advent of TV and these nationally televised games brings out things like this.
Did one of your teammates on the Steelers tackle the streaker?
I remember seeing Mike Curtis, though, blast the streaker, or someone who was just running on the field, and that was kind of that set the tone. Everybody said, "I wish I would be able to do that." But we didn't. We had a couple that you just kind of sit there and chuckle and say, we'd be making bets on the side. How long is it going to take security to get him? I'm saying 30 seconds. I say 45 seconds. We'd have the side bets going, but nothing too bizarre.
Tony, good to talk to you. Tell the boys I said hello, and thank you.
Will do. Thanks a lot, DP, and hopefully we can get this pass interference straightened out before the playoffs.
Yeah. Tony Dungy, Football Night in America.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune into Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV. Stream for free on BR Live or download the Dan Patrick Show app.